Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever provided a seller an incredibly low offer and they end up hanging up the phone on you because you insulted them? If that is the case, stay tuned to the rest of this video because what I'm about to do, I'm about to have a conversation with a lady who inherited a duplex from her father, and we are $110,000 below an offer that she previously received. So without further ado, let's have the conversation right now and I'll take you guys along on the journey. Check things out just a little bit, and then going over the inspection report was extremely helpful, so I wanted to say thanks for shooting that over. I guess the biggest thing is obviously that the property needs some work, which isn't really an issue for us, but it's just like the amount of work it needs and then the amount of square footage you have there, like, it would be quite costly, and it's like probably in the, I don't even want to throw out a number right now because it would be a significant cost. So that's where it's like, I don't know if it would be best for you to just do a major price reduction on the market, or just try to go to someone kind of like us who would just purchase it from you as is, because I don't think it would be anywhere near the $300,000 value. And I wanted to ask you if, like, what would actually be needed. I think in just repairs, you're going to probably have very close, if not over, probably $100,000 in remodeling because of the size of the place. And that's the only issue.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and that's where, because I was looking at things in.
Where can you be? Because then it would. All right. So once you're done remodeling, I'd be like, where do you need to be able to make money on that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Like.
Yep, I know exactly what you're saying in that sense. And what I'm thinking is, when it's repaired, obviously it's going to be worth a decent amount of money. I was thinking somewhere near probably like $375 is what I was thinking, just because of the amount of size. And I kind of did like $100 a square foot is roughly like probably a pretty fair estimate. So with that, it's like, okay, say you have like the repairs that are pointed out in the home inspection that need to be done, plus like the cosmetic stuff that isn't even included in the home inspection that would need to be done, floors, painting, that sort of stuff. It's like, well, you're talking a considerable amount of time that it's going to take, and then the investment. And that's what, like, for us, we have the ability to do it, but it would be probably in the low to mid, probably in the low 200s would even, and that's where it's like, okay, that's $100,000 off of where.
Do around like 250, so at least not like walk. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, and that's why I wanted to call you, because I'm like, if I shoot this in a text, that's gonna come off horrible,
no,
and that's the last thing that I want.
And I did. Like I said, when I went at 325, we were taking money off already because we did know that there's all of this. But I also get now, because I gave you the inspection.
Correct.
Like I said, all of a sudden I know things that I didn't know before either.
Yep.
So I'm looking at this going, oh, well, hell, there's so much more than I even realized. And now I really don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm more just, you know, being a lay person, I need to do respiratory therapy for a living.
Yeah.
I don't do housing. Okay, like I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know to paint some walls. I know how to, you know, like I'm not non-handy, but I'm not this stuff, you know. Mm-hmm. So now that I saw the inspection report, I'm going, and that's why I sent it to you, because I'm not trying to hide anything.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be done with it, because I saw it and I'm going, oh my god. Now, do I think some of this stuff is probably a little out there? Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because, like, I know, like, one part of the roof so like, the roofing is not the same age.
Yep.
So they re-roofed prior to my father buying the place. They re-roofed all of the older side.
Okay.
But the addition has not been roofed since it was added.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So that little part, but that's a small part. That's two bedrooms. Do you know what I mean? So yes, that needs to be done. But the rest of the roof is actually more question. That's what I told you. Like, I know that, but I do know that part does need it, and I didn't even realize it was like that until literally while we're like we got a leak, like literally while it was on the market.
Yeah.
And I'm going, holy shit, you know? Like,
well, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, To be honest, I guess the number I was thinking around 270, to be honest, but if I could go down to like 250, but after that, I'm going like, oh my God, I'm not going to come out of this. Do you know what I mean? And like,
is there still a mortgage owed on the place, or is there still like a outstanding like lien on it?
There's no lien on it. There's no lien on the property whatsoever. There's no mortgage owed on the property or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it's not like that way. It's just more the estate.
Correct.
So there was a valuation put on it for the estate.
Correct.
And I'm actually, even at 250, honestly, losing money that I would have gotten out of the estate, not taking the property.
Yeah. Yep.
And so yes, is it all money in my pocket? Sure.
But there's still that side thing of it's like, and that's where like a lot of the owners that we talk with, and it's like the biggest thing, Katie, is like we meet with a ton of people, but they talk with people, and then they talk with family or relatives or real estate agents or what have you, and then it's like, well, we come in at a price that we can afford to pay just because it's ultimately for us it's a business decision, but I understand that people have the number that they need to achieve, so I'm not naive to that fact, and we normally can work something out, is what I always say. But it's like, okay.
I'm not opposed to not being like I respect that. Like I said, it is a business for you, and I get that you have to turn around for a business and the expenses of that. And like you said, the undertaking, I completely understand because I'm trying to do it.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So I completely get that, but like at the same time, like you said, like I'm going. I don't know why I didn't just decline it and just take cash then out of the estate, because I would have been better off. I'm actually, like I said, even at 250, I would have been better off taking, the cash.
Yeah.
They value this in the 300s.
Yeah.
So.
And that's.
But it is what it is. So that's my naive. That's my bad. That's my whatever. But I'm just going. So I guess that's kind of where I feel like I'd like to be at. If that's not reasonable and you're saying that's just not doable, then you gotta let me know.
Yeah. And that's where I think, from my perspective, you're always going to find someone who will pay more than us. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's something different, because we're one out of 100,000 people in the Washington County or Ozaukee County area. So it's not like that's kind of one of those things that's like, okay, we might be at one price, and then someone might come in tomorrow and say, well, I'll give you $275 and not even blink an eye. But for us, we wouldn't be able to do the $250. It wouldn't make sense for us. And I totally understand if it like going below that wouldn't make sense for you either. But that's just kind of where we're at. And I don't know if it's best to just do a huge price reduction and then include the inspection report and be like, okay, this is the reason for the major price reduction. Because you still might find that handyman or handywoman or whomever to come in and be like, okay, well, yeah, it needs a bunch of stuff, but I'm a part-time contractor, or I can do these things on my free time, and I'm not going to care about it too much. And that's where I don't know
realistically thinking you would be at if you were doing
where my initial rough estimate came in was right around that 210, 215.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
So it'd be like 210, 215 but you can close in the 30 days if I did that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I don't know. I think I gotta think that over. Like, that's just definitely not something I just want to be like, no, we're good. No.
Yeah.
I gotta think that over, because that's just substantially less than I.
Yeah. When you're looking at it, it's like, when I'm looking, and that's why I trend lightly when I'm having these conversations, because it's like, okay, well, the real estate agent, you had decided on the price of $325, and then it's like, well, Carter, I'm talking to him right now, and he just told me a number that's $100,000 less than that. So that's where it's like, I after reviewing things, that's kind of where we would be very confident at on our side. Of course, we would make it happen within that timeline, which I know is, from the sounds of it, is fairly important to you. And then you officially wouldn't need to worry about things after that, because it would be on us. But again, there's
something for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just, like,
yeah.
Being done and just being done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I just need to think about it, because that's a lot of money just to be done.
Yeah. Correct.
at the same time, like with the experience I just had with somebody, you know, trying to lock it up and not have you do it all anyway. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of going like, and then knowing, you know, the timeline of doing all of that, you know?
For sure.
I just kind of know like what you're looking at, and so there's, you know, the timeline too, all of that. So I will think about it, and I'll definitely keep your contact. But I appreciate at least you took a look, and like I said, and I think the home inspection, I mean, that kind of gives it to you right there.
Yeah, well, and that's why I asked you, because like I know I looked at the photos online, and those of course tell one picture, and then just getting the report helps me kind of piece things together a little bit more. And like for us, it is one of those things. But yeah, I totally understand wanting to think on it in this sense. And I guess like I have to ask this. I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't, Katie. But on like a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that there's no way you would ever take the price, and 10 being you'd consider moving forward. Like where do you think you would fall at this point?
Probably
at least
about like a 6 to 7.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking about it, but like I would have to talk that over, you know, with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I call him my boyfriend, but I mean, we live together.
Yeah.
You know, see how he feels, because his initial reaction is, if we're going to spend this much, we might as well just fix it up and keep it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like you said, you're looking even at $50,000. You haven't fixed it all yet, right?
Correct. Yeah, that would probably cover the cosmetic things. It wouldn't even cover the stuff on the report. And that's where it's like, when I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, for a 1,200 square foot house, we can normally remodel them for whatever, 25, 30,000. But when you triple that in size, that's kind of what you result with the duplex, and then you have 2 of everything.
Yes.
So that.
Yes. And yeah, and like you know, it's not updated, so obviously, you know, and the carpeting all needs to go.
Yeah.
All of it. So, like, I know that. So I'm kind of going, I mean, I shouldn't say it's not updated. So the kitchen on the side and the floor outside is actually updated and decent. But the bathrooms, like, one's halfway through the remodel. I don't even want to finish it now. You know what I'm like? Because I'm like, once it just kept going more and more and more, I was going, oh my God, like, I just had this epiphany. I'm done. Yeah. This is not for me. Like, it's just not for me. I think I'm doing one thing, and it turns out it's not even probably something I should have even started. Yeah. You know, like considering all the other things. So, yeah, that's just where I'm at. So, yeah, I think, like you said, I'll reach back out if that's how I'm going to do it. I don't know yet, because I haven't even gotten the cancellation from this woman yet. Yeah. The whole thing. She might just turn around and be like, okay, whatever. You know? Yeah.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you're. There's unknowns at this point, which I respect it for at least reaching out and taking the additional steps in the process, because you don't know. And what you're trying to do is acquire the information so you can at least make a educated choice. But regardless, I do appreciate getting to chat with you and taking time out of our days to do that and whatnot. But if there's anything else, Katie, that we can do on our side, or if you're like, okay, Carter, I don't want to go through this listing process. I don't want to wait and then have someone back out on me again. And I don't want to do all that. Just like give me a shout. Like I said, we can definitely make it happen before that June 1st timeline.
So you are definitely interested, but at that price.
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, at least I know that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And I
this isn't for us.
Exactly. Yeah, I went to taking the time out of your day if we weren't interested, but yeah, we are definitely interested. It would just be obviously at
that's with my real estate agent then.
So what do you guys think about the call? Comment down below. I could have dove in further when she said, well, let me think about it. I want to talk with it. I dove into the scale, the 1 to 10 scale, but I didn't ask her what would get that to a 10. I realize that, but also you have to be aware she is under contract with her agent, which she started diving into, and then the camera ran out of battery. And we were $110,000 below which she had originally accepted another offer for. I don't know if we could have made up that difference on one phone call. It took multiple calls, and actually before I'm recording this section, she did text me and she let me know. She's like, Carter, I do have someone coming through tomorrow, Monday, and if they are not interested, I think we might move forward with your offer, but I'll let you know for sure. We will wait and see what happens. But again, you guys, please like and subscribe to the channel if you found any value in this. And if you want to know how we generated this lead, watch my video right here on Google Ads. That's how we generate all of these leads that I do a recorded call on.